That's recording me. Cool. And I'm going to come back and we'll get started. So you're just going to copy me and I'm going to explain at the same time as we go, but we're going to work through some things together, okay? So first thing we're going to do, and sometimes I will be facing you, sometimes I'll move myself to the side and then it'll be easier for you to see what I'm doing, but you just get in whatever position is best for you so that you can see what I'm doing and you can do it as well. And I'll do like a visual, obviously doing it so you can see, and I'll be sort of verbally giving you some cues as well. Okay, so what we're going to do to start off with, guys, is we're just going to sit ourselves down. You can face me for this, and we're going to sit nice and upright, and we're going to put our hands just sort of behind our bum, and we're going to try and lift our chest and be nice and upright here, okay? Now, from here, we're going to be doing some ankle mobility to start off with. So we're going to push one toes straight and pull one toes back towards the shin. Okay, so we're pulling one towards the shin and pointing the other ones. Then we're going to change, so point the other ones and pull the other ones back, yeah? So change. And you're trying to keep your knees nice and straight here while you do this. Change. 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 Change, 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 change. Good. Now, we're going to now take some big circles outwards with our feet. So we're going to do outward circles with our ankles, okay? Now, what you'll find, if I haven't spoken to you about this before, is that this sort of stuff I'm doing with you is based upon the way that babies kind of learn to develop movement from when they're very little. So I'm seeing with Xander now, he's just walking now obviously, but the way that they develop and they get sensory awareness and they become aware of their body and they become aware of how to move their body. We're just kind of working through that as well. Now we're going to take big circles in with the ankles, okay? So big circles in with the ankles. Because a lot of us, as we get older, we kind of forget how to move, and we forget how we used to move. And we get tighter. Okay, good. Now, we're going to move to this position here. So you can try and mirror me. So whatever I'm doing, you just kind of mirror me if possible. So now I'm going to be sat with one leg down and one leg up, and my hand on this knee and my other hand on the floor, and I'm lifting my chest up, okay? And we're going to do what's called hip circles now, okay? So from here, I'm going to go the other one this way. So I kind of slightly lean back and then I move to the other side. So I shift my weight onto my bum, I move, and then I'm back in this position here. Yeah? Good. And we want this leg straight, this knee, the outside of the knee, as much down to the floor as we can. And change. This is why it's called flow, because we're kind of moving through different ranges of motion. We're not necessarily holding static stretches, although we will do a bit of that later on. But we're actually moving the body. Nice, good. And again. We hold here for a bit and we just kind of get comfortable here. And again. Good. And again. And now this time we're going to do it slightly different. So we go to this position, but then we're going to push our weight forwards. And now what I'm actually doing is, if I move that foot aside, I'm sitting on this heel, and I'm in the same position, but now I'm actually sitting on that heel there, okay? which might be difficult for some of you. You may get a stretch on this quad. If you've got bad knees, you know, you may not be able to sit flush down, but we will see how we get on, okay? You do your best. Now from here, we then sit down. We do exactly what we were doing before. We come forwards, but now we're on this position here. So we're chest is up. We can actually have our fingertips just in front here now on the leg rather than behind. We can move our hands here and we're sitting in this position. And this is almost like a position you could imagine yourself in. Well, children sit like this all the time, yeah? But you can imagine yourself sitting in the wild or something here. Now, sit, change, come to here. So, just nice and upright. I still prefer one hand here, one hand just here. That's it. And then sit and change to this position here. Good. Sit and change. Or again, you can just rest your forearm on the knee and have your fingers there. Yeah, it's just getting the body position in ways you probably haven't sat like this for a long time. But it's important to be able to move well and to be supple as well as to be strong. Strength is important, but you need to be able to build strength through a full range of motion, or as full a range of motion as you can. Sit. Again, back to here. And now just try and put both hands on the floor. Just fingertips here. Good. And then sit. Go to the other side. Here. Both hands, fingertips here. Good. Excellent. Okay. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to come onto all fours. I'm going to go sideways on so you can see what I'm doing. It might be easier for you to face me, but I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to tuck my toes under, okay? And I'm just going to do some rocking. So I'm going to come forwards and back. So I'm rocking. So I'm loading my wrists and then I'm coming back, okay? So I'm loading my wrists here. And as I sit my bum back, I'm really pushing my bum towards my heels and my big toe is tucked under, yeah? Because a lot of people, again, your toes may not move as they used to, yeah? So we're trying to get movement in those toes. Because a lot of the time, problems further up the chain, in the ankles, the knees, the hips, can be related to being really tight in the feet. If your feet don't move as they're meant to, it leads to lots of other problems. That's it. And at the same time, try and keep the back nice and straight. We're not trying to round like this at the moment. We're just sitting and rocking. Good. Now, we're going to actually untuck the toes. And we're going to sit back again. We're going to rock now with the toes, you know, with the top of the foot on the floor. So now this is going to change it slightly again. And for some of you, that may be uncomfortable, having the foot flat on the floor. So you see, none of this is complicated stuff, okay? None of it's too complicated. It's simple movements. But it's so important. If you're used to doing the pure stretch or, you know, group stretch with Nikki, then you'll probably be quite good at a lot of this already. Okay, now I'm going to turn to face the front because it's going to be easier for you to see what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take one leg out to the side and that leg is now straight and my foot is flat on the floor. So I'm trying to keep my big toe on the floor and my little toe on the floor. The foot behind me, the toes are tucked again now, okay? And I'm going to rock here. So this is the way that babies start to build stability in their joints and load bearing, is through rocking. And they don't stand straight away. They put their hands obviously on their wrists, or their weight, through their wrists. They rock. Good. Now, on the next one, we're going to settle back here, put the elbows down, and try and look forward. Try and think about lifting your tailbone behind you a bit, and you should get a really nice stretch down the inner thigh, up into the, this area here. And then come back to the hands, and this time you're actually going to untuck the back toes so the top of the foot is on the floor. So we've untucked the toes, top of the foot on the floor, and we're going to sit back again. That's going to allow you to sit back more, you feel? Because now you've untucked and we're really sitting back here now. And try and focus on keeping those little toes on the floor, on the leg that's out to the side. That's what's going to give you the stretch. And then come back up. Good. Now bring that leg in. Should feel that. And then take this one out to the side. And again, we've now got the foot flat on the floor. And we're going to have the toes tucked behind us. So the toes are tucked under. So the big toe is bent. And we're rocking. Hopefully you're all following this. It looks like you are from what I can see on the Zoom. And I'll get some feedback at the end. And like I say, I'm going to put this whole sequence up on our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to do this anytime you want. Okay, now keep the toes tucked under, sit back, put the elbows down. And at that same time, think about trying to lift the tailbone behind you. And keep the big little toe on the floor. Little toe on the floor there. And push the hips back. Keep the knees straight. Now come back up to the hands. Untuck the toes so the top of the foot is on the floor. And then sit back again. And you'll go lower there. And that's going to be a bigger stretch now because you can sit back further. Good. And come back up. Good. Bring that knee in. Excellent. Good. Ignore that noise. We'll stop in a second. There you go, the Monday morning fire alarm test. It normally happens at 9 AM, but it's happened at 10:15 today. Okay, now I'm going to go side on again. And now from here, we're going to go into some stretches that you will definitely be familiar with, the cat-cow kind of stretch. So we're going to tuck your toes under, suck your tummy button in, look between the knees and round your spine up. And then from there, you're going to look forwards, arch your back slightly, and think about lifting the tailbone and lifting the chest, bringing your heart in between your arms, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. Come to here. Look forwards. Breathe in, breathe out, round the spine, look forwards, breathe in, breathe out, and come back to a neutral position, which is somewhere in the middle, yeah? Now, from here we're going to do the bird dog series. So we're going to extend your left leg behind you and extend your right arm in front of you. We did this yesterday, Jenny Taylor, okay? Now you want to be thinking about pushing your heel to the wall behind you. So your toes are pulled to your shin. Your fingers are pointing to the wall in front, but your thumb is pointing to the ceiling. Now from here, we're going to bring that back knee through and touch our fingertips to the knee, and then we go back out. We're then going to touch our palm to the knee and go back out. So each time we're getting a bit more flexion. We're now going to touch our wrist to the knee and then go back out. And we're now going to touch our elbow to the knee, and then we're going to go out. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. Elbow to knee, and back out. Elbow to knee, and back out. And then put that hand down and the knee down. Good. Now take your right leg to the wall behind, and your left hand to the wall in front. Heel pushing back, fingers pushing forwards. And we're going to go fingertips to the knee and back out. Palm to the knee and back out. Wrist to the knee and back out. Elbow to the knee and back out. And we're going to do 2 more like that. Elbow to the knee and back out. Elbow to the knee and back out. Good. And then bring that down on the floor. Good. Now from there, just some rocks again, yeah? The goal is that after this today, you should get up and you should feel like you can go and do anything, yeah? Because the whole body is sort of lubricated and the joints are mobile and we're warm. Any little niggles or aches and pains might have gone. Okay, so now we're going to go for some zeniths, okay? We'll mark what we'll call these thread the needles, yeah? But we're going to be on all fours. Our hands are directly under our shoulders, our knees are directly underneath our hips. And I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to reach through and put the outside of my shoulder on the floor. I'm then going to come up and open and reach up towards the sky with that hand. So now I'm going to come down, reach through and open up. And look up at the hand. So I'm going to come down, reach through, and I'm going to open up, look up at the hand. 2 more. Come down, reach through, come up, open up, come down, reach through, come up, open up. And then bring that down. Good. So now with the right hand, you're going to do the same. You're going to reach through, shoulder to the floor, open up, look up at the hand, come down, reach through, open up, come down, reach through, open up, come down, reach through, open up. We'll do 1 more on this side. So come down, reach through, and open up. Good, well done. Put that down there, okay? And then just a few rocks again with the toes tucked. Okay, good, well done. Okay, sit yourself back down the way you were. If you want to grab a quick drink, you can have a drink. It's probably warm. I'm warm here. So if you're warm and you want a sip of drink, you can have that now. And then we're going to sit back down facing me here with your legs flat on the floor and you're sitting as upright as you can. Now from here we're going to take both arms out at shoulder height and we're going to think about trying to lift our chest, and we're going to do what's an S pattern with the shoulders, okay? So my left arm is going to go over the top, my right arm is going to go underneath, and I'm going to come to here, okay? And sit, lift the chest. Then go out, and then the right arm goes over the top, the left arm goes underneath. And go out. So here, and down, here, and down. Now you're not trying to force anything. You're not trying to get as much movement there as you can. You're not trying to force anything. You're just kind of going where the arms want to go, okay? You're trying to get as much movement as you can within a kind of comfortable range. Down, and up. Down, and up. Okay, hands down here. Good. Now, from here, hands on the floor, you're going to kind of spin yourself around or move yourself around, and you're going to come down onto your front facing me, okay? Or whichever way you can see the screen nicely. Cool. Now, we're going to come down to the floor, we're going to put our hands just underneath or just beside our chest, kind of underneath our armpits, yeah? And we're going to keep our neck neutral to begin. And we're going to take a breath in. And as we breathe in, we're going to push up to here, okay? Now you squeeze your glutes on the floor. So you squeeze your butt muscles tight and you try and pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then come down. Breathe in. Push up, push your inhale. Squeeze your glutes tight, and then come down. One more, breathe in, push up. Squeeze your bum really tight here, and then come down. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to do that same S movement we did with our shoulders just a minute ago, where one goes over the top, one goes underneath, but we're going to do it from a lying position from here, okay? So what that's going to mean is, both arms are going to be out here as if you're an aeroplane, okay? So just float the arms a couple of inches off the floor. Now, the first few you might need to look up, but ideally I want you just to be looking at the floor once we get moving, because that's not going to strain your neck, okay? And we're going to start with my left going over the top, my right going underneath. And I'm going to get myself into that position there. And then come back out to the side. And then the right over the top, the left underneath. Back out to the side. Left over the top. Back out to the side. Right over the top. Back out to the side, left over the top, back out to the side, right over the top, back out to the side. Now, bring your hands in, put them under your armpits, and just push yourself up to all fours. Good. And then if you can, just untuck the toes and sit your bum on your heels. You're sitting in this upright position. Excellent. Now, what you should have felt is that it's more challenging, possibly, to do this movement on the floor because you've got to engage through your back and keep everything strong. Now, we're going to do the same movement. A lot of people have issues with shoulders. We're going to do the same movement, if you can, in this position where you're sitting on your heels. If you really have to and you have a little head cushion to hand, you could put the cushion, you know, on the back of your legs and sit down there, and then it maybe take a bit of pressure off of the knees if you have to do that, okay? But, you know, again, once you're mobile, sitting like this for an extended period of time will be comfortable. So, arms out to the sides, and we're going to start with left over the top, right underneath. So left over the top, right underneath. And down. Right over the top, left underneath. And down. Left over the top. And down. If your fingers touch, brilliant, but don't force it. And down. Left over the top. And down. Right over the top. And down. Left over the top. And down. Right over the top. And down. One more to each side. Left over the top. And down. Right over the top. And down. Good. Bring your arms down. Brilliant. Now, come into an all fours position. Now from here, we're going to work, I know some of you don't have loads of room to do sort of crawling around, but we're going to do a similar motion to crawling on the floor, whereby it's more of a balance sort of challenge. So we've got 6 points of contact at the moment. We've got 2 hands on the floor, 2 knees on the floor, and 2 feet on the floor, yeah? 6 points of contact. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to lift my left hand up to touch my right shoulder, and at the same time, I'm going to lift my right knee off the floor. So do that for me. So you should now only have your left knee and your right hand on the floor, and your left foot as well, and down. So now bring the right hand off the floor, boom. So you've got the right hand on the left shoulder, and your knee and your foot are off the floor on the left side, and down. So come up, left up, and down, right up, and down, left up, and down, right up, and down, left up, and down, right up, and down. Good. So hopefully you all understood there that once you lift, say, the left hand and the right side up, you're just then balanced diagonally across here, which is how we would walk, or it's how you walk and move your arms anyway, or how animals with 4 legs walk, okay? So next up, we're now going to make that, if that was challenging for you, stick with that, okay? Now I'm going to go sideways on again. If it was okay for you, the next stage is we float our knees just a couple. See, all I do is I take my knees about 2 inches off, or 1 inch to 2 inches off of the floor, okay? And then I've only got 4 points of contact. My hands and my feet, my knees aren't on the floor here. And then to make what we just did more challenging, you do the same thing, but with only those 2 on the floor. So we go here, and so on, yeah? So I'm going to do that now with my knees off the floor. If you want to join in, do it. If you want to keep the knees on the floor and do this one we just did, then that's fine as well, okay? So, tuck the toes, knees off the floor, left hand up, right foot off, and down. Right hand up, left foot off, and down. Left hand up, right foot off, and down. Right hand off, left foot off, and down. Left hand up, right foot off, and down. Right hand up, left foot off, and down, and relax. Good. Turn and face forwards again. If you have turned, sit on your heels. Well done. So that should have felt a lot more challenging to do that, okay? Now, we're going to move into a push-up position plank next, which is basically like an extended version of what we just did. Because if you look from here, I'm in this position, my knees are off the floor. If I go like that, my knees are still off the floor, but I'm just extended as opposed to here, yeah? And what we're going to do is go into our push-up position plank, and we're just going to do the hand to the shoulder, down, the hand to the shoulder, down, the hand to the shoulder, down. It's going to be done slowly. It's not quick like this, okay? It's going to be done slowly, down, hold, down, okay? If that's too challenging for you, just hold a push-up position plank, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to go side on. Both feet are staying on the floor at this stage. We're only lifting one leg up. Only lifting one hand up and touching the opposite shoulder, okay? So, come up into your push-up position plank. You can have your feet about hip width apart here as well. So, brace, left hand up and down. Right hand up and down. Left hand up and down. Right hand up and down. Left hand up and down. Right hand up and down. And knees down. Good, well done. Now, especially in this heat, that's quite challenging, okay? Now, I'm just going to quickly approach the camera just so I can just check that you're all looking okay. Have a quick sip of your drink if you want. So, Falcon's doing all right, Suini and Bella doing well, Lou's good, Jenny's good, Hugh Arthur's good out in France. Bonjour, bonjour. Tara's doing well outside and Jenny's doing well. Okay, and Nancy's doing well as well. I can't see Nancy, but I'm sure she's okay. Right, now, the next one we're going to try and do, so now you have three options. You either just hold the push-up position plank, you do what we just did, which was bringing one hand up to touch the shoulder and returning, okay? Or the third option is, we take what we did a minute ago and we try and replicate that in a plank, which is we bring the left hand up and then we bring the right leg off as well. So you're in that diagonal motion, yeah? So you've got one hand on the floor and one foot on the floor, okay? And then we change, and then you do the other way round, yeah? So it will all become clear if you don't, I think it's fairly straightforward, but I'll show you very quickly. You're in your push-up position plank, so the left hand comes up, wow, and the right leg. And then we go down. Then the right hand comes up, and the left leg, yeah? So that's going to be more challenging, but you do whatever option is right for you, yeah? Okay, so we're just going to do 8, so it'll be 4 on each side, yeah? So let's get ourselves set. So come up into your push-up position plank. Feet can be apart, hands are apart. So, left hand up, right leg up. And down. Right hand up, left leg up. And down. Left hand up, right leg up. And down. Right hand up, left leg up. And down. Left hand up, right leg up. And down. Right hand up, left leg up. And down. Left hand up, right leg up. And down. Right hand up, left leg up. And down. Knees down. Sorry, I might have said left and a right wrong there, but hopefully you did alternate sides. Okay, now, oh, it's warm up here now. It's very warm. Okay, what we're going to do next, we're going to do our final kind of stretch from here. So I want you to be able to kneel up and look forwards to face me. Okay, so we're going to step if you're mirroring me, I don't know how this quite works, I'll flip the camera. I'm going to step my right foot forwards, okay? If you mirror me, or you can do your right, sink the hips in. Good. Now I'm going to put my left hand on the floor. I'm going to tuck my back toes, float my back leg, and I'm going to rotate my right arm up, look up at the hand. And I'm now going to bring that down, put it inside the foot, and put the back knee down. So now I've got my right foot and my right hand on the floor. I'm going to sandwich my knee or link my knee and shoulder together. I'm going to rotate my left arm up, look up at that hand. I'm going to bring that down. I'm now going to slightly walk my right foot out to the side, take my left knee back a touch, elbow into calf, breathe in, breathe out, slide the elbow, the forearm and the hand down towards the floor, while keeping the foot planted firmly on the floor, the front foot. Come back up to the hand and step that leg back. Kneel up nice and tall. So now we're going to do those same stretches on the other side. So I'm going to step my left foot forwards and I'm going to sink my hips in. Good. I'm now going to place my right hand on the floor. I'm going to tuck my toes, float my back knee off the floor and rotate my left arm up to the ceiling and look up at my hand. Bring that hand down, put it just inside the foot, put the back knee down. Now, clamp that knee and shoulder together, rotate the right arm up, look up at the hand. I'm going to bring that hand down. I'm going to slightly walk my foot out to the side. I'm going to take my back knee back an inch or two. I'm going to put my left elbow into my left calf. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to breathe out. Slide the elbow, the forearm and the hand down towards the floor. Come back to the hand. Come back, take the knee back, sit yourself down on your feet, take the arms out. We're going to do, so your toes should be untouched, you should be sat on the top of your feet now. And now we're going to do 8 of these. Yeah? So left arm over the top, right arm underneath. And down. Right over the top. And down. That should feel better for all of us now. It feels better for me. Left over the top. And down. Right over the top. And down. Left over the top. And down. Right over the top. And down. Left over the top for the last time. And down. Right over the top for the last time. And down. Hands on the floor. All fours. Final, just rocking like we were doing near the start. Tuck the big toes under, tuck the toes under. Just rocking forwards and backwards. Good. And just sit yourself down however you feel comfortable and give yourselves a clap. Well done. Very, very Good, excellent work guys. So what I'm going to do is, you can unmute yourselves on Zoom. I'm just going to turn off Facebook, not Facebook, the video.